Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM23, Newton Heath, episode 5. Coming off a really worrying stretch. We're going to see if we can do any better. But in the meantime, a big key thing is happening. Well, let me show you just how bad things are right now. Even though we're not in last place, we're at 22nd. We do have a win, and it was a win against a good side. Overall, though, we're not looking good. Goals scored, worst in the league. Goals allowed, worst in the league. Yellow cards, worst in the league. At least we do have that average attendance part, but it's been a tough go so far. Now, our next bit of the schedule looks like this. So Chorley is our next opponent. They have -1 on the goal differential, but they do have 5 points through 4 matches played. And they're right about where they should be in the league, but we're on the road. Then we have Spennymoor at home. Spennymoor, they're the league leaders and the favorite to win the league. So yes, we have a home match coming up, but no chance of beating them. Then we finally get a little bit of luck. The last place team in the league, one of the bottom teams in terms of where they're picked to finish this season, but we are on the road. We'll get a couple home games after that. At least one struggling side at home upcoming. We'll see if that can go our way or not, but difficult ask on the next 3 matches anyway. Chorley and Spennymoor, I'm going to let those ones go, but what we have, as in we'll kind of move on to the next one. What we have done, though, in the short term since our last game, we had already added Adam Yates, new center back, coming in, definite upgrade from what we had. I showed you him last time. He was okay in the latest game that we had, the 33-year-old veteran coming in. But since that time, we've also added 2 more. Ty Ebanks, and I have others, by the way, with offers out there, is now the best player on the roster. We just brought in Ty Ebanks. Right, attacking mid, good pace, great jumping reach, first touch crossing, determination. We're all still not anything to even bat an eyelash at. I mean, we're still very much scraping by for guys. Now, one thing that has happened, one of the players that I've put an offer in for, actually this has happened twice already over the last week. It's showing the progress because all these guys that we've been given offers to and bringing into the club, nobody else has been going after them. Nobody else has been interested. We've had players that we had promised X amount of playing time, and then they ended up down at the bottom of the list, and they got offers from lower leagues to leave and left. Parting ways with those are so easy, though, as everybody's here on a free anyway. But we have a whole group of players down here that their time is probably limited with us for much longer here. But Ebanks and Mitchell George, another one that we have added in. So these guys were just added into the roster, and you can see that we're talking about a pretty solid option. Still not much better, but passing is there. His work off the ball, the decision making is really good. He's got some vision. I think he might be good in that attacking mid. And look, 3 wingers right at the top. A new center back. There was a third one. Tom Wilson also. So Tom Wilson just added in. Strong heading, tackling, okay on the marking, okay decent pace, but all around a little bit stronger of an option than the other guys, and also accepted squad player. So as he settles in, he will not get upset and leave us quickly here. But we are raising the bar. Now the next one we clearly need to fill. Defensive mid, our 2 weakest guys other than goalkeeper. Really, that's the 2 positions we need to look to fill sooner rather than later as we continue to just up the roster. And these guys are going to get more and more competitive with the league that we have. We might be leaving it a little late on survival this season, but if we just keep inching our way and getting better and better and better on the players we bring in, it should work out in the end. What I was talking about, though, where we had no interest before, we are getting interest now. The current wave, right? I just brought in 3 guys. I've got about half a dozen offers out. 1 or 2 of them also picked up offers from teams in our tier. So other teams have come in. Now, one of those is already signed with somebody else because they're paying them. We're amateurs, so we're going to lose out on that every time. Now, that sucks for us that there's a good enough player out there to have other teams interested in them, and we lost out on them. But it's a sign of progress that we're even getting into that position, that we're starting to attract players good enough, right? There's a trade-off. There's good and bad. We missed out, but it means we are starting to inch our way into guys that are just about good enough for the tier. Well, looky here. Those 3 new faces might have made a difference. I don't know, but through taking a little weekend vacation, we had a Friday and Sunday match for those 2, and I just took a little mini vacation. We come back from it. We had 52% possession. XG-wise, we had no business winning this game. 23-4 for them on the shots. Guthrie with 12 saves. And we come away with a 1-0 win at Chorley. That was highly unlikely. Let's see how bad the Spennymoor result might have been. Oh, and George scores on debut. So that was George with the goal. So one of those 3 new faces we just brought in. And again, that is the sign of, we're climbing that ladder in terms of quality of players that we're bringing in. 3-1 loss to the league leaders. Okay, well, sure, that looks rough. But look at the match stats. Almost equal on shots. Possession was equal. XG, nearly equal. We got the goal we deserved. They got 2 goals more than they deserved. We easily could have come away with a 1-1 draw on this thing. Okay, hey, that's a positive sign. It was a consolation goal. I mean, they were up 3-0 when we scored that one, but I'll take it. Could have been a lot worse than that, and it's not a 5 or 6 goal loss like we were experiencing. I think that the new faces, and there's other new faces just over the weekend. 1 new face anyway, Sams. So Tom Sams, latest addition, another center back, can play both fullback positions. 13, 14, 11 in the key defensive areas. Jumping reach is also fairly good, has enough pace, not very strong, and not the greatest mental breakdown of attributes, but for us, it's hard to get a complete player at this stage. But here's how he looks when you compare him against, say, Yates. Significant advantage aerially, a little bit speed, a little more offensive, close to the same here. But here's who we were starting at center back through the first 4 matches. Lowy. Look how much better. Sams is the same type of player as Lowy. You can see they have kind of the same ultimate distribution. Speed is the same. Defending level is the same. And then Sams is a little bit or even significantly better everywhere else. The odd result here and there is really keeping us in, because at this stage, I have this sinking feeling that scenario that's going to play out is our roster is just going to get better and better over the course of the season. Without any huge influx of cash this year, I don't think we're going to be making any serious upgrades anytime soon. We're certainly not going to be, bringing in a very high caliber of player, but better than what we have. And we're already starting to see some improvements in the team, some very welcome improvements to the team. So, okay, fine. We have the worst goal differential in the league with a -10, but we've had 2 wins. And that's equal all the way up to mid-table here. I mean, Scarborough has 2 wins. This whole group has 2 wins. And then this whole group has 1 win. And Banbury has not even won a match yet. So while we are struggling, the odd win here and there. We have a play style that is accepting the fact that it's a play style that we probably shouldn't be playing the quality we have. But the quality we have, theoretically, isn't going to amount to much. So sitting back and being defensive, we're not going to get a lot of results. Just scraping by, hanging on. And if we play not to lose, we're going to be like Banbury. They've not lost 3 out of their 6 matches, yet they still only have 3 points. I'm playing to win. And while we've only won 2 out of our 6 matches, we've lost 4. Banbury's lost 3. We are double them in the points department right now. Our goal differential's worse than theirs, but we're playing to win. We're playing to win some matches, and we have come away with 2 already. I don't think we're going to have a fantastic season. I don't think we're going to easily be comfortable. I think we are still very much in danger. But we've got a play style that is play to win. And we've managed to do so twice now. Once at home, once on the road. And we will have games against, the bottom half of the league. 2. So there are going to be some opportunities. And we're going to keep plugging away and get the ones we can. But in the meantime, I am not slowing down on looking for new players. First update on finances in a little while here. You can see that this was actually a good month for us. It was a busy month. There was a lot of games on the calendar, but it amounted to making, a decent amount of money. The expenditure has kind of settled into whatever it might be, which was less than what we brought in. Our income was good this last month. $495K. The expenditure side, so $67,000 in taxes, the loan repayment, of course, the match day expenses. We're looking at $366,000, and the month before we spent a little bit more than that, but I think there was a big tax thing, and I think that might have had something to do with season. But on the income side of things, we can see last month we had $334,000 in gate sales alone, but match day income, corporate facilities income to go with it, we brought in $560,000. So we are making a bit of a profit. Not every month is going to be like this one. That could have been that one more home match making the key difference. We'll see how things go over time. But if we are, let's say if this is average, if we're putting away $200,000 a month, then it's not going to be too long before our finances are in a decent enough state with level 1s and everything that we should be able to see upgrades to facilities, to youth setup, to our status as an amateur side, and then start signing guys on for real. But of course that means we would start spending money. My professional status for players and staff. The reputation is definitely not flying high right now. It's still a problem. It's only an 11. The morale also has plummeted, I suppose, to a 2. Why? I don't know. That's where it's at. Okay, fine. I think the main thing that's helping us recruit players right now has absolutely nothing to do with our reputation. It has everything to do with A, the league we play in, and B, the quality of the roster we have. And because of the level that we play, the league that we play in, there's players that are willing to play for any team in the league if it gets them an opportunity, if it gets them a foot in the door in the league. But they're only going to play with players that are, so good. If they're 3 times the player that Ebanks is in our roster. But that's the thing. Ebanks takes over as the best player ahead of Lomas, who was the best player ahead of Midgley, who was the best player ahead of Lowy, Harrison, who was ahead of Potts, right? We've raised the bar repeatedly again. And every time we raise that bar, more players that weren't willing to join us suddenly become willing. And, you can see we're having a pretty big drop-off on the new faces to everybody else on the roster all of a sudden. And, yeah, I'm going to need to start thinning a few positions out again here quite soon as we're getting a little high on things. But without any crazy league rules, we're okay to just keep on going, even though it's September 1st. There's no transfer market closing. We're just signing frees, and we're okay. The biggest problem with the constant change within the roster is the locker room atmosphere. It's not good. It is poor. We're losing a lot of games. It is poor. The first player to even enter the hierarchy is Adam Yates, and that's because he's the only veteran around. I think it might be in my best interest to utilize him early and often. On the road at Lemington, good opportunity as it's a weaker team, but we are on the road. Ouch on the both teams in yellow. This is not my uniforms. Is it? No, this is not my uniform at all. We should be in black and green. Reese, Lomas, and this is tricky to see. We got the yellow socks to their black socks. That's the biggest difference. First shot of the match, almost half an hour played, goes to us, and suddenly we have 4. Competitive. We are competitive here today. Black Sox running the other way. Ebanks recovers the ball. Nice play there, but a bad pass to Midgley. Midgley makes a nice pass to Lomas. Lomas, though, kind of gives that away, but we do recover the ball. Midgley had Lomas in a good strong position. We give it away to Edwards. And Edwards, his shot is blocked. We're going to get a second shot. Nicholson, who's on a yellow. Uh-oh, what just happened? Kemp picks up a yellow. Outside of the box? Yes, okay. That's cleared away by Yates. And Guthrie is going to grab that one. So that is 2 yellow cards that we are now carrying. Got a good first half here, though. Yates, nice ball over the top for Reese, but Reese does not get there and then does not really pursue the ball at all after that. George recovers it, though. Outside of Nicholson. Holmes finds Nicholson for the overlap. And that goes off the crossbar. Wow. So close. So close from the fullback there to giving us the lead. Dangerous from Kemp on the yellow, but he makes a good clean tackle on that one. Holmes, long ball, switch of play to Lomas, but Lomas has Meredith on him. Meredith heads it back to his keeper. Nice tackle there. Great ball, Reese. Okay. I thought he was comfortably on. I thought my eyes told me he ran past the man, but it's really hard when you got 2 yellow jerseys here. Ooh, that was offside. Half time. Well, we started a little... Well, neither team started well. And then we got going first. But then they got going just before halftime. And level. I'd say, based on this, there might be 1 goal in this in the second half. And that might be it. Second half underway. Nicholson and Kemp may not last very long. I still don't think I have a Nicholson sub on the bench, though, so might have our hands tied on that as an option. There are 3 different center backs in, and I know at least one of them can play a position. I don't know if any of them can play right back, though. Yates, I know he plays at least 1 fullback position. This is them. Usher Shipway. Uh-oh. That looks like a penalty. I don't see anything there. Little grab of the shirt at the most. There's nothing in that. That ball was played well over the head of anybody. But the ref saw something he didn't like by us. And now we trail. Now we're going to have to go positive. Long balls keep getting picked off at the moment. Wilson, another long ball. This time it's not. Reese is going to get there. He's going to lay it off. Oh, the extra pass to Lomas was perfect, but that is blocked. nearly leveled the score. And we've looked the better team today. You've got to say, we have looked the better team. Okay, Yates is now on a yellow card as well. Getting a little worrying. We get a lot of yellow cards as a team. Kind of shows the weakness of the players. That one, against the run of play, really came out of nowhere. And that's going to do our opportunity. It was another foul, though. That's where we are struggling, is the individual play. Team play is actually fairly good. Guthrie should have saved that. For sure. Yates' rating dropped. I think he had something to do with that. Let's get new man Sam's on. Kemp finds Holmes. Holmes is blocked. And that goes out. Those two defensive mids, as weak as they are, I will be... That was offside. Wasn't crosser. 3-4 yards. How is this happening to us? We have a game that's so level. Oh no, he's easily on. The heck? Two guys just casually running back, not marking anyone. There's that weakness showing up. But in a game that we were the better team, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, penalty, and then we trail, and then after that we've been awful since then. And we're going to lose 3-0 against a fairly bad team. A fairly bad team that we were outplaying until that penalty. Now, was it unlucky? Yes and no. It is quite clear from the volume of yellow cards that we pick up. And it's not about play styles. Harrison should have gotten us on the board there. It's a beautiful run. Keeper with the kick save on that one. Out for the corner. But we should have scored 3 goals today. And they shouldn't have scored 3 goals today. Terrible defense on that last goal. Penalty. Who knows? Like I said, we do commit a lot of fouls. We do have a lot of yellow cards. And that is not about the tactical approach that we have. That is about the individual quality. We've got guys that just aren't quite there. And they're making plays and they're committing to things and making mistakes. They get it right sometimes. They get it wrong sometimes. And it leads to a lot of yellows. Reese was awful on top today. We had 2 blown chances. Shots, 13-13. XG was almost even. You know, you take away the almost a full goal that you get for that penalty. We had more XG than they had, if you subtract that one. But we had 30 fouls to their 11. We had 5 yellow cards. There's positive signs that we can compete with teams. There's just still the worrying signs. But again, if we keep evolving, we'll get better. We will get better. By the way, following the match, the interview suggested that that was not a penalty. And that was the turning point in the match. I mean, like I said, we had more XG than they had. We'd been outplaying them until that point. And then that instantly changed the game. For one, we weren't balanced. We started going positive. We started getting in front of the ball. And that led to the couple issues that, gave to the other game. That easily could have finished as a 0-0 draw. And apparently a bad call is the only reason why it didn't turn out as a 0-0 draw. Because there wasn't momentum for them until that happened. Their confidence rose following. New system in place for cup draws, tournament draws, FA Cup. It's just second qualifying round is all, but sure. I think for other tournaments, this would be exciting. For here, it's fine. I like that you can advance to my team, though. There we go. Match 78, Sudbury. And we'll be at home for this one. And they are definitely down the table, and yet they are a semi-pro team. In some respects, that puts them above us. He hasn't signed yet, but from a set of goalkeepers, Sam Kelly is now the best one I've been able to find. He's decent shot stopper, not the greatest, but he's okay. Compared to Guthrie, he may or may not see the pitch much. He'd at least be our best backup. Compared to the other guys, he is a better shot stopper. He is better aerially, and that's probably the two most important factors for us until you get up to a higher level. Distribution, I'm okay with him not being as good as Guthrie. Physicality shouldn't matter for a goalkeeper. If they're getting physical, then they're either getting fouled or they're punching the ball away, and okay, fine. Punching the ball away would be nice, but and mentally they're pretty similar. Communication's not quite as good, so again, there are a couple weaknesses, but Sam Kelly may serve as a better guy between the sticks than Guthrie. And following that, I'm on the hunt for a defensive mid, trying to get somebody in, actually really a couple guys in, to give us a bit of a boost in a position that has been a significant struggle for us for a while. So looking to get that boost, looking to get up and, drop this bottom end of the roster. I've already sent a few guys packing, and this roster is definitely starting to stretch out a little bit. Again, with new guys coming in, new faces around. So it's a process, folks, and it's a process that's going to continue right through this year. But at least we are scoring some points. We've had 2 wins so far. Got FA Cup coming up in the not-so-distant future. We're still not where we need to be, obviously. We're still in the relegation zone. We have the worst goal differential. But 2 wins to start the season is a huge step. We're 1 week away from the Sudbury match in the FA Cup. Hopefully, that's something we can actually go out and play well in at least a match or two and help with our confidence a little bit. Josh Harrison's been doing okay. 7.0 rating. He had a couple goals. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.